Okay, welcome back to Tiff's Top 5 of Staying Alive with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 formula. Maybe I will get it right by the end of this series of 5 videos. So, what I do with people is I help them tune back into themselves. What type of people? Intuitives like you. Okay, so today we are going to look at the 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. You may know these already, but how much do you actually practice them or apply them? I run groups. Okay, I have communities of intuitives that work together. And like we said in yesterday's video, part of the problem with intuitives is they're so used to being tuned into everyone else, and then all hell breaks loose. So I really needed to find a very good structure to onboard people with. Nobody comes into my groups without saying that they will practice the 4 Agreements. This is our bedrock and our agreements to each other. And it's the reason why my groups work so incredibly well. And of course, it's not just about my groups, but it's about their lives and how that ripples out into their lives and can do because they're daily practicing these 4 Agreements. Yes? So we're going to go through them now. So the first agreement is to be impeccable with your word, to speak with integrity and say only what you mean. Shock horror. And avoid using the word to speak against yourself. Oof. Now, that one I will say is the hardest one in my groups. People may not speak against others, they don't. Never seen that happen. But speaking against themselves, oh my god, I'm such an idiot, I can't do this, da 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 da. That is a whole nother level of the practice, okay? Or gossip about others. Right, I've never seen myself as much of a gossip. I have always kept myself to myself in office situations when I had them. And now I tend to feel it. Like if I am saying something that is out of alignment because I've been practicing the 4 Agreements for so long, oh my gosh, it feels awful. And it can be hard. Sometimes, say you feel like you've been wronged by someone, it's like, oh gosh, how can I actually talk about this? But it's about who you speak about it with it. Is it an appropriate person? And are you talking about it in a way that is not going to bring you down? I'm sure you know what I mean. If you've been caught in gossip or anything else that feels tantally temptational, that it's like a little high at the time, and afterwards you're just like, oh. Whereas if you've been coming from a place of self-respect and self-restraint and self-esteem, yes, that we spoke about yesterday, then actually you find that, yeah, actually this feels, I'm glad I resisted that temptation. I feel a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so that's the power of using your word in the direction of truth and love, which is something I've also had to work on. Quite okay with the truth aspect, but sometimes they say the truth hurts, right? It's not that easy to be truthful. One of my students said to me once that a saying that I've never forgotten, and his name is Fingal Greenlaw. You can look him up now. He's one of the top 10 tarot readers in London, as called by the Time Out in London. So you can have a look at Fingal. And he said to me, because he's also Buddhist, that truth without love or compassion is just brutality. Ooh, That's a good one to remember. Okay, so that is the first agreement. Can you practice that every day? If you haven't been practicing it, you can probably feel in you, oh gosh, this is why I'm not feeling that great in my life. And this is another reason why you might not be. And this is the second agreement of not taking things personally. And that is really hard because when you're intuitive, you think everything is personal. Like I said, I would even take on other people's stuff so much I thought it was my own. I took it that personally. So I might be somebody, I might be with someone who's angry or anxious or something, and then take that on board as my own and end up angry and anxious about things. And it was like, oh, actually, no, that's not me. Okay, so don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you, and it's so true. I see this in my groups all the time when we do practice these agreements, thank God, because sometimes I need to mirror this back to people because they have taken something personally and then they realize that, oh my God, actually, no, I can see now it wasn't actually about me at all. And it sounds like maybe, really, honestly, it feels very personal, but actually, everybody is coming from their own story. Yes? It's a projection of their reality. It says here their own dream, but also their own hurts, their own limitations, conditionings, beliefs. And when you're immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Okay? Warren Buffett has a really cool saying similar to that as well about if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you, then you'll be controlled. You'll be controlled by words, yes? And that it's about getting past that, being logical, taking a step back, having a breath, and realizing actually it's got nothing to do with me. All right, so there you go. That is the second agreement. The third agreement is not to make assumptions, which is rife these days. Fast communications through technology. It's like, gosh, it's not even about courage anymore. It's not even about finding the courage to ask the questions and express what you really want. It's actually also about finding the time or making the time to communicate properly. Okay. I'm sure you know that when you've cut corners before, there's been misunderstandings and sadness and drama, and also taking things personally is an assumption. You are assuming that it is about you. So, by practicing this one agreement, you really do hit the nail on the head for a lot of others. And Brené Brown has a really good sentence that helps with this, and that is to say to someone, when this happened, the story I told myself was, and that de-arms any defense or attack being on the receiving end of that from the other person, because they can see that you haven't made the assumption of what you thought they were up to through your filter. Yes? And also, I'm intuitive. Of course I know what's going on. You don't. Okay? So watch out for that too, because it will give you drama, lots and lots of drama. And tomorrow we will speak about drama as well, okay, on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which this is the fourth video of. And the fourth formula. Okay, so the fourth, when I say the fourth video, I'm going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there's actually 3 more. Yes, we're starting with number 5. Right. So the fourth agreement is always do your best. Doing your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different from when you are tired as opposed to well rested, or when you're sick, for instance. Yes, give yourself a break under any circumstance. Simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse and regret. Be okay with 1% progress on yesterday. What I find with intuitives is that it's actually, the problem isn't doing their best, it's trying too hard, so hard that they will break themselves, trying to grasp this concept or that concept. Is really, it rebounds with intuitives. Yes, so it's about doing your gentle best, calming down and being okay with the journey. All right, that's it for today's video. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's video, where we will be talking about the Karpman drama triangle. Until then, see if you can practice these 4 agreements, at least for today, and see how things go for you. Bye for now.